everybody. Welcome to this week's weekly roundup. I wanted to start with something very important first, and that's about elections. We're getting a ton of calls here at City Hall on if there is an election next week, and the answer to that is no. We do not have any of our races that have primaries, and that's what the election is for next week. So no voting here in the city of Watertown. You may have family or friends throughout the state that are voting, but we do not have any election here in February. With that said, though, we will have elections in August, April, November. So it now is a good time to make your voting plan. myvote.wisconsin.gov is a perfect location for you to find out where you vote. You can register to vote right there. You can request absentee ballots. There's a ton of information on My Vote. So even though we don't have an election, it is a good time to start preparing your voting plan. This week, our city council, our finance committee approved the purchase of Badger books. So we will be using some of our American Rescue Plan Act, our ARPA funding, to purchase Badger books. And these Badger books will likely be used in our August election. And they are an electronic poll book. So if you go to a polling location and you're signing that manual sheet of paper, there's a lot of work we do beforehand to prepare those and a lot of work we do after to enter that information. And these Badger books will allow for a lot of efficiency to be created. They also are cleaner. We can sanitize and have disposable styluses versus paper. So there's a lot of cost effectiveness and operational efficiencies that will be realized as we make that transition to Badger books. At council next week, so last item for elections, at council next week, the city council will be considering and potentially approving a new polling location. So with the new and expanded library, we have an amazing community room that is large enough to host one of our election sites. And then also with redistricting this year and the boundaries being adjusted in some of our wards, this was the right time to kind of reapportion the amount of voters we have going to each polling location. So your polling location may change for the April election. We will be sending a letter of where your polling location is, or a postcard. We'll be sending a mailing to every registered voter. So please watch for more information on that, probably later this month and next month as we begin to prepare for the April election. The Public Works Commission approved the Main Street Task Force's report this week, which was a good step in our continued process to strategically plan for the reconstruction of Main Street. Next steps for that, we'll be beginning to budget and prioritize some of that work. We will be sharing more information on the components of that plan in smaller snippets through our social media, so watch for that. I have this later in the list, but it's relevant now. We also are going to be preparing just a brief video message about why we're not reconstructing Main Street right now. We get a lot of questions about it, a lot of comments, and they're reasonable questions and reasonable comments. And we need to do a better job of informing you of what the bigger plan is and all the different variables at play for why Main Street is not being reconstructed this year. So watch for that as well. On the recreation front, next week, Friday and Monday, there's no school in the public school system. So on Friday, we are doing an Olympic activity themed day, which I think is really cool. The first is an outside event at Riverside Park from 10 to 12. There's going to be an obstacle course, I think a biathlon, tons of activities for families to do. So make sure you dress for the weather. And then at 2 p.m. in the senior center, we're going to be doing a learn and play about curling. We'll have a local resident who is very versed in curling and judging, provide us some information and insight into her experience. And then we'll also be doing some curling indoors. Also on Friday, the library is hosting a movie in the new community room. So at 10 a.m., they're going to be viewing Encanto. And then at 2 p.m., they will be showing Eternals. I think that's the name of the movie. Also coming up will be rock painting class, which I'm really excited about. I know we have a really strong rock painting community here in our city. So that'll be a class for experienced people or newcomers. And then the lifeguarding training course is up, and that's always a popular one. So get registered as soon as you can. At the library, there are a lot of new features in the library, everything from how we shelve magazines to the tables and the power opportunity that we have to power your laptop at the table. So if you're curious about any of the new kind of technology and new fixtures we have at the library, check out their Facebook page. They're doing a really good job of showing what those new components are and how you use them. I know I would have stood in front of that magazine rack for a long time, wondering how I get a magazine out. So check out those videos. They're also starting a new book club for adults. They're keeping the Bookies book club on Wednesday evenings, but also now adding one in partnership with the Senior Center. on Mondays. And I believe that's in the afternoon. And then Teen Time is something that's new, and it's starting on Mondays from 5 to 7. Monday on Valentine's Day is going to be their first Teen Time event. And I think they're doing a catapult contest, which sounds pretty fun to me. Next week at City Council, the design contract for the Riverside Park bathrooms is going to be considered. So this is the first big step for the redesign and the reconstruction of the bathrooms at Riverside Park. And I'm very excited to finally get this project underway. Just a reminder, we will have, with the spring coming, some vacancies on our boards and committees. If you go to our city website under boards and committees, you'll see a form on the left-hand side that you can complete for your interest in serving. I would encourage you to do that. So as we start to fill those vacancies in the spring, we have a nice list to work from. And then lastly, before I get to our job openings, the WHS Career Fair is on March 16th, and they are looking for registration for businesses to be a part of that career fair. And the focus is for students. And so often when I do our business retention and expansion visits, I hear from our businesses that they're not sure that people in the community know that they're there or know the types of jobs they have or what they pay or what the education requirements are. So we've been doing a lot of work with our partners here in the community to kind of bridge that gap. But this is one that our business community can totally bridge on their own. It's a great opportunity to be in front of students and share who you are and what you do and who you employ. So registration for that is on our website and Facebook page. For more information, check out either of those spots. So we are hiring for our summer internships and our seasonal staff in a lot of our departments. There's a list on the city website. We're also doing part-time library assistant, I think in the children's area, and then a part-time dispatcher. We're just finishing up the recruitment, so there's still time to apply for our fire chief. We're hiring firefighter paramedics, police officers. We do need a person to join our solid waste collection team. And then at the water wastewater department, we have a wastewater operator and a wastewater treatment plant foreman position open as well. So despite today's warmer temperatures, I'm fairly confident it's supposed to be a little chillier this weekend, which is a great opportunity to support all of our local businesses, stop in the coffee shops, get a coffee or hot chocolate. I know our kids always love doing that when it's chilly out. And then if you're willing to, brave the temperatures and get outside. The winter wellness loop is open and clear, and it's been getting good foot traffic. You can still today, rent and pick up snowshoes, although there may not be enough snow, ice skating rentals. Otherwise, you can use the skates at the warming house tonight when they're open and Sunday. So with that, have a good weekend. We'll see you back next week.